potential sales. SZY, the ITK on social media, says that he understands Spurs are firmly looking to bolster their squad in this summer, with current players expected to be moved on. Romero, Sarr, Richarlison, Dragoshin, Vicario and Bissouma, all names that could be leaving this summer. Can you imagine Spurs getting all those players out the door this summer?
Yeah.
With more, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be, we have to get the ball rolling. And I think for some of those players, we might not get a fee that we're totally happy with. And maybe that Levy would have accepted, put it that way. But I can see I can see all of them going, to be honest. I think Romero has a willingness to sell. And I think last season the asking price might have been 65, 70 million. This summer I can see it being closer to 50. I think with Sarr, I don't know what the fee would be. I would say probably around 30 million.
I'd say even 20 million.
I think it'll be over 20, maybe 25, something like that. I think we'll want 30. That'll be our asking price.
Who's going to pay for Sarr though? Like 30 million? What kind of club? Because I think if he goes outside of England, I don't think anyone's getting up to that fee. And I don't know if anyone in England is going to go for him.
I think they'll be interested in England. I can see that.
Like what kind of club? Like a Bournemouth or something?
Maybe a mid. I think for sure those really well-run clubs would love Sarr, like Brentford, Bournemouth, Brighton. One of those will look at Sarr as a real opportunity, and maybe one of them will spend the money, 30 million. I think he's not kind of done it for Tottenham this season, but this guy's got serious potential. We'll probably look at some data and see how great he is in some things, and I reckon they'll be in for him. I reckon teams in the Premier League will be in for him, in my opinion. So I reckon we'll want around 30. When we get 30, I don't know. Who was else on that list? Dragoshin for sure. He'll be gone. We'll sell him for about 10 million or something. Then Bissouma, he's on a free. So he's gone. Vicario, between 15 and 20. Apparently, Inter are getting cold feet. We'll have to wait and see if that still happens.
the fee that was talked about there was like 21 million or something, wasn't it, for Inter Milan?
Let's hope that still goes through. And Rishi, I think, back to Brazil for about 20 million, and that'll be that. So how much have I just raised?
So you've raised 50 for Romero, you've raised 30 for Sarr, you've raised 20 for Richarlison, so that's 100 million. Dragoshin,
110, 115. About 135 plus Vicario. 135 million right there.
Yeah.
I mean, do we have to sell much more? I mean,
all those players could equal the 3 players from Brighton.
Yeah, true. And in terms of money-wise, offsetting the money that we've lost out in Europe, that goes a long way for it.
But we need it to. Yeah, I mean, look, I think though, if you sell all those players, I really believe that's enough to bring in those players from Brighton. I think that could work. On Luka Vuskovic, there's been an interesting update from Miguel Delaney saying that he's expected to sign a new contract and then go back on loan to Hamburg.
Yeah, really interesting.
And if that is true, that does make a bit more sense about bringing in Van Hecke. Yeah,
I've always said I don't see Tottenham having signing Senesi and Van Hecke and bringing Vuskovic back. I don't think that's going to happen. So if this truth is about Van Hecke is true, is actual and real, then I don't see Vuskovic sticking around for another season. Next season in the first team when he went back out on loan because Romero and Van der Ven were there. So we'll see. I think it all depends. I wouldn't want to sign a John Stones and send Vuskovic out on loan, but if Van Hecke's available, I think maybe that's too good of opportunity potentially.
Just bring Vuskovic in, man. Forget all this spending. You know, Vuskovic, we've got a ready-made talent right here waiting in the wings. Just bring him in. Bring him in and play him, man. I'm sick of waiting for Vuskovic. Just bring him in.
Just saying, if you're looking for someone who's Prem-proven, then Van Hecke would be the choice.
It's true, but we've got Vuskovic right there. So what do you do in a year's time when you want to bring Vuskovic back?
Van der Ven leaves and Vuskovic comes in?
Nah. Just bring Vuskovic back in now, bed him in for a year, and then we'll reap the benefits. There's no point. I don't see the point in signing a Van Hecke for in replacement for Vuskovic to go back on loan. I just don't see why we should do that. I know I love Van Hecke. I think he's a brilliant player. But we've got Vuskovic here. So let's just keep him, let's nurture him, and let's play him.
I'm open to it. I'm happy to do that. I think. But the reality is, you have to realise, you have to accept that you wouldn't probably get as good as results if Vuskovic was there than for a year at least than Van Hecke, I would say, because Van Hecke's way ahead of him at the moment, and he's already prem proven, and he's also a phenomenal centre back in his own right. I think there's a lot of excitement and hype, rightly so, for Vuskovic, but he's still going to have a period, isn't he, of bedding in and playing in the Premier League. He might take him a few months.
Logic would suggest that, but maybe he won't. You never know. He's never had a bedding in period in any of the places that he's gone. I know the Premier League is a completely different ball game to the other leagues he's been in.
I mean, Bundesliga he did.
He had a bit of a bedding in period in the Bundesliga. How long? It wasn't that long.
He said it himself. You know, the first game, I think the second game he played against Bayern Munich, he said he taught him a massive lesson. He said he showed him how much he needed to improve. He was going to play at this level.
But what I'm saying, it wasn't that long though. Like he got to grips with things pretty quickly there.
Yeah, and ended up having an amazing season. It's a really difficult one because, like, if Van Hecke's such a amazing centre back right now, so if you were to have the opportunity to sign him, it would be foolish not to, for a player that you're hoping will take like the Premier League to buy like a duck to water. But he is a phenomenal talent, Vuskovic, and I also worried if we sign Van Hecke, what does that mean for him and what happens for his future down the line?
If we really believe in Vuskovic, then we would bring him in and play him right now. We're talking about creating this pathway. This is the guy that we should be creating the pathway for. So bring him in. Like if it's a bit of short-term loss for long-term gain, I'll take it with this guy, because this guy, he is a generational talent. That's exactly what he is. So I would do it.
But if he's pushing to go back on loan, he said it himself, isn't he?
He wants to, yeah.
He wants to go back on loan to Hamburg. If it makes him happy for a year, you get someone like Van Hecke in.
Trust me, if he's playing for Tottenham, starting week in, week out for Tottenham and doing well, he'll be happy. So, yeah, look, that's my thoughts on Vuskovic. I would love to see him starting for the club next season.
So does it annoy you to hear that?
Does it annoy me?
To hear what Miguel Delaney said?
A bit, yeah. I mean, it doesn't annoy me, the contract one. The contract one is great.
Oh, that's good. Obviously, that secures his long-term future.
Look, it's not going to annoy me that much, because we're still going to be bringing it. Let's assume that it's going to be for Van Hecke. We're bringing in a very good centre-back. And we will see Luka Vuskovic in a Spurs shirt because he's signing a contract. So it's not like I'm up in arms about it, but I think the best way to go about it is just to play him now, Vuskovic.
Problem is, it makes more sense if we bring in Stones than Vuskovic, and I wouldn't be happy with that, even though it kind of makes more sense because Stones might be out the door in a year's time and Vuskovic is ready to step in once he's finished that loan spell. Whereas Van Hecke is not exactly young, is he? He's also not exactly old. So it's not like he's going to be ready to leave in a year's time. But the thing is, if you get someone like Van Hecke in now, maybe, and you have him and Van der Ven, maybe you challenge for a Champions League spot, like with that kind of level of centre-back.
You think having Vuskovic or Van Hecke could be the difference between challenging for Champions League and not challenging for Champions League? I don't know, man. I think we could do it with Vuskovic, especially under training with De Zerbi.
I'm saying, but what's more likely?
Yeah, it's more likely, but what's more likely is getting better players in the forward line. That's what's going to be the real telling story if we're going to challenge for European football next season or not. Like Vuskovic, if we don't get Champions League football next season, it's not the end of the world as long as we're moving forward. If we give Luka Vuskovic a bedding in year, we're going to reap the benefits of that, aren't we? Massively, tenfold.
No, I agree with that. But with Vuskovic, is like, I would just say, like, other players, as you say, in the forward line, you wouldn't want to sign a 19-year-old like you want someone who's proven in the forward line. But Vuskovic, I mean, he's obviously a great talent, but he's not proven in the Prem. Is my point. It's the
if you bring me someone that's as talented as Vuskovic in defence, in the forward line, and has proven it, let's say in the Bundesliga or
Savinho was unbelievable in La Liga.
Yeah, but he's come to the Premier League and not really done much.
Yeah, because he has to bed in, and Vuskovic might be the same.
But this is 2 years he's been here now, Savinho, and he's got 2 goal contributions.
I understand that.
2 goals.
2 goals. Lots of assists. Still played one or
I don't think, in terms of trajectories, even from a young age, they were viewed the same. I think Vuskovic.
Sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Savinho was up for. Well, he was in team of the season.
Vuskovic is being looked at right now as potentially one of the best centre backs that could be in world football.
Savinho was in team of the season, I think, in La Liga that year.
Yeah, he was. He had a very good season for Girona.
And La Liga is a better division. And he was 20. So
I don't think La Liga is a better division
than Bundesliga.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
Nah. La Liga's gone downhill massively.
Well, I think most people would say it is.
I don't think they would. Not anymore.
Well, it's just as good then.
It's on a similar level, yeah.
It's on a similar level. So he was also similar age to Vuskovic, right? He was 20. He's 22 now, so he was 20.
Yeah.
And he got in team of the season in La Liga with Girona. He was brilliant. So the trajectory there was the same at the time.
I don't think it was. I think... look, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But I think Vuskovic, with the way people are looking at him now, you're talking about one of the best centre-backs in world football people were predicting him to be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was the same.
A lot of people make
I don't know if
predictions.
it
I'm
was
not saying he isn't. I'm saying a lot of people make predictions about a lot of young players, and they don't all come to be true. I'm not saying it won't be. I believe Vuskovic is an unbelievable talent. I'm just saying it's interesting how you look at different. You're saying you're willing to be patient with Vuskovic, but a forward player you're not willing to be patient for.
Because our forward line is terrible. We need more quality in the forward line. The defence is actually okay. Defence isn't bad, you know. We need a lot more surgery in the forward line, and we need those guaranteed goal contributions in the forward line. Our forward line has been failing massively since Kane and Son has left, and we need people to come in and hit the ground running and get those goal contributions. The defence isn't that major surgery that's needed. So that's where I'm at with it. Let's talk about Kulusevski, though. Interesting update with him. He has been spotted back on the grass doing some running. There is a social media post that we liked, if you want to bring it up. Shows him doing some running as he is continuing his recovery. So hopefully, these injury problems are going to start to be behind him soon, and we can get him in a pre-season and start to see him next season.
I mean, I don't think a video of him that looks like he's doing a light jog is doing much for me just yet.
It's better than not being on the pitch at all.
I know, but we've seen him doing on the grass before. We've seen him doing individual training, and he's had setbacks, so I don't want to get too excited just yet. But I'm glad that he's on the grass and he's doing a bit of running and jogging. That's great. But you've got to take it slow. Got to be very patient. It's been a very, very long recovery. That doesn't seem to be that someone is anywhere near playing, put it that way.
No. But, you know, there's still a long way to go till pre-season. So hopefully if he can up the intensity every month, then maybe he can be back for pre-season.
Let's hope so. I would like to see a bit more rather than that, just to be convinced me he will be. But
Look at that. Look at the pace he's going. Kulu's back, people. We've got some quotes from João Palhinha. He's made his... thoughts known of where he wants to play next season. He says, since the first day I arrived, I feel at home, from the supporters, the crowd, top club. Who doesn't want to play for Tottenham and stay here? I have everything here, but this is like a marriage. What can I say to you? What I can say to you is I really like to be here, and I enjoy this season a lot with this club, even though it's been a tough season. I think the next season will hopefully be really different. I truly believe it. I think this season will help Tottenham for the future, analyse the season, what we did wrong, what we did well, and I think it's a big improvement and a big relief after the season. So, yeah, I mean, he clearly wants to be here next season.
Yeah, there was a post that people implying that it said that implied that it was looking like he was saying goodbye. I don't know if it was that post or not, but he obviously has had a great time. He's been a massive part of us staying up. De Zerbi has been a big fan of his. I think the fans, by and large, have taken to him. I think he's one of those players where you watch him play, and some things he does, it's hard not to take to him. And, you know, you can feel his passion. You know, when he goes into a crunching 50-50, you know he's the only one coming out on top and winning it. So that's all great. And I do really like Palhinha as a person. As a player, I like some of his stuff. We'll see. We'll see what De Zerbi, what we end up trying to do. I understand if we do keep him. I'm not like majorly against it. I just think, let's say if there's a chance to get Baleba or something, and all of a sudden we got Palhinha, we can't get him anymore. I wouldn't do that. But like, I like Palhinha. I think he's useful in some aspects for 100%. But there's he's very limited, put it that way. He's just a very limited player, and that's just what we have to accept.
And last but not least, Romero has taken to social media as well. Everyone noticed after the game he posted congratulations to Belgrano, but there was nothing Tottenham related in his post. However, he has sent a message to the Tottenham fans as well, which we'll read in a second. Here we go. So he says, another season comes to an end. It wasn't an easy one, a season full of challenges, difficult moments and times where things didn't go the way we wanted it. We suffered a lot and didn't enjoy it as much as we expected, but we finished it in the best way possible. I hope this season serves as a lesson and an opportunity to correct everything that was done wrong, both on the pitch and off the pitch, for the future of this beautiful club. Most importantly, thank you to all the fans, always being there and supporting us through the entire season, because no matter what happens, players and coaches may come and go, but the ones who are always here through the good times and the bad are you. You deserve nothing but the best always. Romero.
That, to me, reads a bit like a goodbye message.
100%.
Obviously.
Well, the reason is because usually in all his posts, he's always like, together always, we move forward for this beautiful club and all this kind of stuff. This is like the only one that hasn't had that in. So that, for me, that's like confirmed.
What's not in there?
He always says like, together we move forward and together always and all that kind of stuff. Right, this is the way,
this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I think the line that showed me that maybe he's obviously implying he ain't going to be there, and he says, players and coaches come and go, but you're always going to be there for the fans, always going to be there. And like that just reads to me like a line of why would he say that unless he's maybe planning on going, which I think is probably the reality, which is not a surprise to anyone. In terms of another little parting shot at the board, which I like, you hope this season serves as a lesson, which is something that obviously he's made no secret of over his time at Tottenham, criticising those from above. He says, hope this serves a lesson to fix the mistakes that have been made on and off the pitch, which there have been many. So I hope that is absolutely right. Yeah, nice of him to make a statement, but yeah, that does read to me like he's definitely off.
Yeah. Well, let the bids roll in, people. Let the bids roll in, and let's see who can bid the highest. Where do you think he ends up? Do you think it will be Atletico?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I don't really see it being anywhere else. I would say maybe Barca, but I think Barca don't have that much money. I don't see it being Real Madrid anymore for some reason. I just don't see him going there. Although, would Jose like him? Maybe. I don't know. I think Atletico makes the most sense.
Could he go back to Italy somewhere, you reckon?
No, I don't think he will go back to Italy.
He has always spoken about Spain and how he wants to play in Spain. So, yeah, I do feel it probably will be Atletico Madrid, but they only wanted to go up to 30 million last summer. Mm-hmm. What will change this summer? Who knows?
Hopefully there's a bit of change there. Maybe put a player in there. I don't know what player I'd want. Johnny Cardoso.
He hasn't done that well there, Johnny Cardoso. Who would we want from Atletico? We want Julian Alvarez. That's who we want. But look, that is your Tottenham update for today. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below.